Look at this. This is cool. We're in the metaverse. Look at this seating arrangement. All right. So let's go ahead and kick this off. We'll wait for the other speakers, well, I'm sure will be coming. But we're starting with Ben from NFT Hive. Well, first of all, welcome to NFTOPIA. We've been here for since yesterday morning. I guess we're halfway through now, right? Halfway done. We got half of the weekend to go. Then, like I was just saying, we're gonna have the keynote speakers and then 2 panels. So, Ben from NFT Hive, could you give us a little intro about yourself and just an NFT Hive in general, and then some of the really awesome things that have been happening lately? You got this PFP tool that's dropped, and then maybe some upcoming things that are coming.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Ben. Nice to meet you all. I'm from NFT Hive. I started the platform probably around 3 years ago when the Wax mainnet launched. It used to be called Waxplorer, which was basically just an NFT explorer for the Wax blockchain. We used to have many different marketplaces for the simple asset standard on Wax. And it was a little different from atomic assets because you had to send your NFT to the marketplace and then it was only available there. So they were very scattered across the ecosystem, and then it was very hard to find them. So that's why I built Waxplorer, like a search engine for NFTs before Atomic Assets was launched. And yeah, since Atomic Asset was launched, we rebranded it to NFT Hive and made it a fully compatible NFT marketplace on Wax. And most recently, we've started building a lot of creator tools with basically a lot what already existed in the ecosystem for very high fees. We built it all for free, like pre-minted packs, drops, pre-minted drops, and more recently, blending or crafting, as we call it, as well as the new PFP drops, which have been existed for a while, but really became more popular when we had the Wax Ape drop, and then the Wax Bulls, and so on.
So on and so forth, yeah, and it made it easy for creators on their own to create a PFP tool that works really well and has rankings. So, do you want to talk more about that? Maybe I know you worked also with Mike D from WaxDAO to work in like the royalties and stuff.
No, they worked separately with them. So
okay.
Yeah, we were just named in as project supporters, but yeah, they used his farms for the rewards and our tool for the drop.
Okay, cool.
No, but I know him well. We also worked with him on his guild and then the application. Now he's the newest guild member on Wax, so we know Mike very well and respect him. Yeah, but let's talk about the PFP tool. I think it's in the crypto space very unique, and so far that Wax is probably one of very few blockchains who can actually support calculating PFP results live on chain. The most PFP drops that we see on Ethereum are pre-minted, as far as I know, or being calculated off-chain and then rendered. Well, basically, they have some other computer calculating the results, and our tool is actually using the on-chain random number generator to calculate the result, to make sure they are unique, to calculate the chances that a specific trade has, and then logging the result onto the blockchain, so it then can be picked up by a rendering and minting tool. So what's really cool is that before the drop, you don't already know what the rarest PFPs will be. You really have to wait till the drop is sold out until you know which one is the rarest, and so there's always still a chance to get the most rare PFP if you're minting towards the end. And I think that made it really interesting. At the beginning, we were facing some problems when we had a massive drop like the apes, where around 10,000 PFPs has been claimed in a few hours. Our tool was really not built to render images this fast, you know. So it took a couple of hours till we could mint all the apes. But since then, we have invested some money into an extra rendering server, and now we probably cut the rendering time by the factor of 10. So now it's really quick. Even if we mint a few thousand, it's probably done within an hour or so.
Yeah, that is awesome, and we have seen a few of them go away that quick, just gone. Drawing company here on the stage had one yesterday. That worked out great.
Yeah. One problem I noticed is, since we had those drops and they became really popular, is that a lot of scam collections started popping up on Wax. So we had to very quickly change our tool to be whitelist only. So if you want to have a PFP on Wax, it doesn't cost anything to do it with us. You have to provide the RAM, of course, but other than that, it doesn't cost anything. But you can contact us so that we whitelist you, and then you can use the tool freely. And I think we had a lot of creators testing it now, and a lot of success with it. And I guess we made it really easy to use. You can set up all the layers and attributes and rarities that you want to have. Yeah, so it's free to test, free to try. We have a testnet version, all that fun.
Great. What are some other things that may be upcoming? Can you tease anything? I know you're always working on stuff.
I cannot hear you.
Oh, I was muted. Is there anything upcoming that you can tease? Any kind of future things that are exciting?
Yeah, we're working again for the monkeys, the apes. They have requested another feature, and we're working on that at the moment. And it's called mirror crafting, and that is taking two PFPs together and then reading their traits, and then based on the traits generate a new NFT. So it's as a creator, you can define different layers of images that will be chosen based on the attributes and traits of the ingredients that you put in. So you can basically take an ape and a banana, and then based on the banana attributes and the ape attributes, generate a new, I think, astral ape, or what they called it. Yeah, and I'm just working on that on testnet at the moment.
That's awesome.
And it works with any kind of NFT. For example, you could also take, you can, as a creator, you can create a recipe for, I don't know, ingredients like alien worlds, tools, for example, and then you can check if the tool has a rarity abundant. You render a specific layer, or if the tool is mythical, you render a different layer, and you can put in whatever you want, and based on their attributes, have a certain outcome. And yeah, render a layered image. Basically, you can use it to put render on top of each other whatever you can imagine, and base this on the NFT that you want to put in. Could create a character with glasses or put a hat on them or whatever you
Nice.
can think of.
Red had asked, will NFT Hive also be looking at creator tools surrounding token creation or DAOs? That's what Mike's over there doing.
Yeah, probably not. I think if anything, we probably might work together with Mike on something and use his tools, but I don't think that we need anything extra.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it's make more sense to cross develop a little bit rather than doing everything, duplicate everything. As far as I know, WaxDAO doesn't charge any fees or make it like very expensive for creators to do things, and that's our philosophy. We want to offer these tools for free. And they weren't free so far, so that's why we developed them.
Yeah, that's
but
awesome.
Yeah, if something already exists and is free to use, then I don't think we have to replicate it.
Anybody else want to throw any questions in the chat? Yeah, with this whole PFP creator, anybody can do it. All you have to do is set up your artwork and your layers properly. I'm sure there's help involved if you're not sure how. And then it will automatically mint for you when people buy on demand. So yeah, we've seen this tool at work in the past month, and it's been really fun for people. After everything's minted, you can see right on the page, right on NFT Hive, the ranking and all what was minted and the different traits and how many there are and all that stuff. So we see people hunting those ranks and trying to get them on the market.
Yeah, those will be updated maybe every 15 minutes or so. And we have a little script in the back end running that checks for a collection and a schema name that is used to mint those NFTs. And then we analyze those NFTs, what traits do they have, we count them, and then set up the rarity based on the total amount. And yeah, if you set up a drop, it will be added automatically. If you already have a PFP project on Wax, there's a good chance that we added it manually before. If not, then we can also still add this to the rarity calculation.
Cool. Red says, would you able to do a pack of like 3 or 5 PFPs? Well, they're all random when you get them, so it's like buying 5 PFPs, right? But
so what we have, we can create packs on NFT Hive from different collections. So I think that's also unique. So you, as a creator, if you own NFTs, you can just send NFTs to the pack contract with your collection name attached in the memo. And then you will be able to put those NFTs into pools for your own packs. So cool. That enables you to put any collection.
Yeah, that's a cool tool. I like that.
Yeah, like working together as like a collaboration pack is possible to do with us. And yeah, you also, if you want to use the tool just to mint NFTs, but actually want to sell them in packs, that's also possible. We've done this manually so far. So we had Lambas who did the Sucubis. I used the tool to create the PFPs and then mint them all to NFT Hive packs. And after that, I was able to put them into packs.
Yeah, so it's like making a pre-minted pack. So once you have your whatever it is, PFPs or anything else from any collection, then you can create your pack with whatever you want in it and drop that. Cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, we're at the 20-minute mark. Thank you very much for the little update.
Sorry, I'm here back. Sorry, guys. I want to ask him something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, Ben. So I used to use your tool like to mint NFTs. So I just
Mhm.
want to ask you about the last problem that happened to Pulse, and it's been also happened to Beep
To
NFTs
what?
that Beep NFT. Beep.
Oh, no, that was a
Yeah.
different issue.
Is that was from your end, like it's from the tool, or the creator does something that he didn't fetch every layer with the other?
Yeah. So the bolts, that was our problem. So that was the first attempt to have faster rendering, but essentially the server, when we did the fast rendering, could not load the images in time. And then there were missing images, and then it couldn't render them properly. That was fixed. The next drop, the PP drop, that was they used the non-matching layers. So one of the layers was much larger with the wax necklace. That was 4 times as large as the other layers. So when it was rendered on top of the other images, you couldn't see it.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know. They created the drop a while ago. We have since already added a check that really checks whether all the images are the same size. So this can also not happen.
amazing, man. I just want to thank you because you are doing really great, and that's like you bring the summer, the season for Wax right now with your tool. So we have really to thank you. That's what
Yeah,
I want to say.
glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm really happy to see that as
Yeah, I think we all
now
agree
becoming so
that,
popular.
and yeah, like right here, you're here talking to us. The head of NFT Hive, you can literally talk to the person and give him the feedback or report the bugs, and like an actual, not like an actual person, unlike other companies where you gotta go through whatever emails and whatnot. No, if you have a problem, hit up Ben, he'll sort it out. And that's beautiful. And what he just said with you're creating Wax Summer, it kind of, in a way, this whole PFP craze kind of got everyone excited again and spending Wax a lot more in a while. And it's just awesome. So thank you for all the hard work. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
really happy to see this happening.
yeah. So thank you for the updates. We're gonna go ahead and move forward. Let's bring on Valor and Vellum, which I guess is having a hard time getting on the stage, but your avatar can stay right where it's at if you want. Welcome. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've been doing all these events at Comic Cons and how you're integrating your collection with that, and then kind of how this past one went in San Diego?
Yeah, sure. So I am by day a graphic designer, but I also do a lot of my own personal artwork that I sell at conventions. I've been doing like the IRL shows since I think like 2018. And then, of course, took a break during the shutdown. But then once things started opening up again, I started signing up for, just as many of the big shows as I could because we all missed it. So, I've been selling art prints and enamel pins. And during the shutdown, I guess kind of in a silver lining sort of way, it kind of allowed me time to actually start working on, new kind of media for art, including designer toys. So that was the birth of Sune, my original character, which is its name is derivative of Kitsune. And I've been selling those at first online, just because shutdown, we couldn't go anywhere. But then once things open back up again, I've been making exclusives, like small exclusive runs that I'll sell at like specific conventions. I think these past couple years, I've been fortunate enough to be able to do like Emerald City Comic Con, New York Comic Con, Designer Con, Anime Expo, Crunchyroll Expo, like, just a lot of the kind of like the big name ones. So it's been, just kind of like an incredible and fun journey. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to do San Diego Comic-Con last year. I was in Artist Alley, which was awesome, but also very small. It was probably the smallest setup I've ever had to do because they just give you a half table, which is about 4 feet of space, which by this point, I've been making lots and lots of new merchandise. So, I knew I had like enough to fill a booth, but it was kind of a question of like, will they allow me to do that? Because, once people are in that show, it's so amazing that they're grandfathered in and nobody wants to move. So I was fortunate enough that they were able to upgrade me this year. So this year I was able to do a 10 by 10 and also, of course, like, have a bunch of wax NFTs involved too. This is a big collector show and they love, collecting anything, whether it's like toys or cards or sneakers or, in this case, digital collectibles too. So, it's just kind of like a nice time to like maybe try and push a little bit for wax if I'm able to. So what I've been doing when I have exclusives with like, say, my designer toys or enamel pins, I'll usually have like an accompaniment, a matching NFT, and then the number, since it's usually a numbered exclusive, the number of the exclusive will match the mint that you'll receive after the show. So it's kind of opposite of like what a lot of people do, where they like release their NFT, they do their NFT drop, and then if you collect like a certain number or you get like a certain rarity, then you can turn it in and get like the physical item. Mine's kind of backwards, so you start with the physical item and then you get the NFT. And I think doing it this way is kind of a nice way to onboard more collectors, more people from the community that we love, the people that we want to be in the wax community, we want more of those. So in that way, it's kind of like trying to onboard people, from the pool of people that we know that we want to be there, and kind of just like, giving them a nice little introduction into the world, first time's free.
Yeah.
So, I did that for San Diego Comic-Con because I had a whole bunch of exclusives. And then each day I also had daily QR codes, and I would have like free drops, but it was a private keyed URL that you could only get through the QR code that I had sitting at my booth each day. And so people were able to claim those. And I also do, just to try and make like NFTs a little bit more personal and to like kind of make it like almost like the real life event sort of. I came up with this idea of like autographing NFTs because, you go to a convention and you want to meet people and you want to get stuff signed or you want sketches, things like that. So I have certain NFTs where you can get them for free. And then I also give away free, what I call like autograph NFTs. And you can only get it if you see me IRL. So I'll give you one of those and then you can blend them together and it'll turn it into a rarer signed NFT. So it's still the same art that you had before, but then it just has my signature on it. So, trying to do stuff like that just to, keep it fun and keep it kind of like, how it is IRL.
Yeah, that is awesome. You're doing great work. What are some of the reactions that you're getting whenever you're talking NFT? I'm sure, or how do you go about selling or pushing or talking about NFTs to the people at Comic-Con that might not know what they are? What's your approach with it?
Well, so first off, like, we're all kind of used to like how spicy people get online and they don't hold back because they're keyboard warriors. It's completely different when it's IRL. People suddenly become much more subdued and either they show excitement and, they're into it, they want to learn about it, or, sometimes you can tell they'll make kind of like a face, but they don't actually say anything because, when you're right in front of the person, I think a lot of people lose their online courage. So fortunately, so far, it's been pretty positive. And the way that like I try and like get people into it, like I don't try and push too hard. I just have something, like a sign sitting out or, a little slip of paper that comes with your collectible. And that way people can just kind of like discover it and take their time with it. And, sometimes like if I have something sitting out, like, this time I had some free stickers to that pointed towards, let's see, there was CS Sully, Neon Space, NFT Gamer TV, and bursts of energy. So, just helping promote their channel so people could take those and then, discover it later. But then the free daily QR codes that I had at my booth, I had several people ask me like, hey, what's this about? Because, collectors, they want to learn how they can collect other stuff, especially if there's freebies involved. So in that case, I was fortunate enough that since I'm a wax ambassador, I was given a bunch of codes for free wallets, so you don't have to pay the 5 wax or whatever to be onboarded. So I was able to I just printed a bunch of the codes out with directions on what to do, and I was able to talk to people and tell them, oh yeah, it's digital collecting. If you like Funko, that's where it lives, stuff like that, and then just hand them one of the papers, and then that way they could take their time when they get home, because cons are crazy. There's a lot going on. So if they have a takeaway, they'll put it in their bag, and then once they get home or at their hotel, they'll usually sort through to look at everything and rediscover and be like, oh yeah, I want to sign up for this. So I've been trying to do that. I feel like if you get too pushy about stuff, like get into salesman pants mode, people get kind of turned off. So it's better to just have like something sitting there, or something that they can look at and ask you about, rather than get too pushy about it.
Let's say a curious person does that, and they're looking and they're asking how do you go about explaining to them then that these are digital and you're able to hold them in your digital wallet? Like, if they don't, do you run into people that have no clue what NFTs are at all, and you bring them on? Yeah.
It's pretty easy to explain it, because these are all collectors,
right?
So they already get it. A non-collector would think that all of this, including collecting like physical stuff, is stupid. So you already have one step forward, just because they are in that collector mind. So all you have to say is, hey, it's basically like what you have, what you're buying, say Funko Pops or something, except they take 0 shelf space. You can buy as many as you want. It's not gonna take over your entire home. And think of it like it's ownership, and people are used to numbered collectibles, especially like if people hand number the individual numbers like on the packaging. So you could just say that's what the mint numbers are, so you actually know like what number you have in, like and that it's yours, like you have it proves ownership.
That's awesome. Justin asked, do you see moreover overall this past San Diego Comic-Con, are there more people familiar with NFTs this year than last year, or kind of the same?
I've maybe probably about the same, and I think there's a couple factors. Last year there was actually a very big push from Cryptoys. They partnered with Mattel, and they had a huge presence at San Diego Comic-Con last year. So I think there was just maybe a little bit more NFT talk, because there was such a huge heavy hitter there that had a full booth space and was doing just heavy promotion, lots of giveaways. This year I don't think I saw as big of a presence. Also, I don't know if you guys have been following the news on this, but there's been the Actors Guild strike and the Writers Guild strike that have been going on. So basically, a lot of the talent were not allowed to promote anything at Comic-Con, unfortunately, which meant Hall H, which is known for its huge celebrity panels, was effectively just not shut down, but much smaller panels where people weren't willing to camp out for it. So, panels people could just easily walk into if they wanted to, spend an hour and leave, rather than spend all day waiting for it. And because of this, we had way more people on the floor, people that probably aren't usually even on the floor that much. Suddenly they're walking around the exhibitor hall and buying stuff, and talking to artists and talking to exhibitors. So suddenly you have this influx of all these new people that are probably more new to the concept of it, thousands, a lot of people that are kind of new to it and didn't see necessarily last year what was going on. So I think for that reason it seemed about the same as last year.
That's a good point, and kind of nice for you guys that you get more people walking around, because the panels don't have the people they usually would. All right, cool. I'm surprised Justin says that Funko doesn't promote their NFTs as much, or in person. Yeah, I mean, they could. Funko is hot on wax. We wish they would promote more, but that's kind of the way which when Drawn Company, when he starts, he'll tell us about how the same kind of answers or questions about how he's reaching people too, and he kind of compares it to that, to the Funko. It's like, because all these collectors are at least familiar with that, and he's like, that's one example that you can compare NFTs to, because it's a collectible that you get, and you know, like the NFTs. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody got more questions? Now, can you tell us a little bit maybe about yourself and your collection? And well, I guess you kind of did, but you're streaming too, so you stream too. What do you do on your stream, and how often and stuff?
I'm not like super good at being consistent. Like, you know, some people have their schedules. I don't. It's usually just like either if I have a drop coming up, or like, you know, if I happen to have a little extra time, I can do what I call my secret streams. So usually the best way to stay on top of that is to join my Discord community, and I'll usually post, even if it's a secret stream, I'll just post like an emote that I'm about to go on, and people generally know what that means. Sometimes I've done like some IRL streams as well, like if I'm at the convention and I have a little bit of spare time, I'll just like, you know, go ahead and hop on my phone, and that way people who have never been before, or people that are just kind of nosy about it, can check it out. But I do have a stream coming up today, you know, if I'm allowed to do a little promo real quick.
Yeah, go for it. Of course. You're going to be in here too, of course.
So it's going to be in about 3.5 hours. It's going to start at 3 p.m. PDT. And since we did just finish San Diego Comic-Con, I do have some leftover exclusives, both physical pieces as well as like digital. So I have some leftover NFTs. So it's going to be kind of like a short stream, maybe like an hour or so, but I'll be dropping the private key link for the leftovers pack. So it's all of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive NFTs that were unclaimed, whether it was like, you know, a figure or the daily ones. So everything in those packs are pretty rare. Like I think the biggest thing is maybe LE60, and then it goes all the way down to like LE3. So basically the packs are kind of made up of that. So there's only going to be 50 of those that are dropping. They have 2 NFTs each. And so that'll be, I'll send out a private key link during my stream, like at a random time. And then I will also be dropping in my Shopify, like some of the leftover exclusives, like my card decks. I had some fans and a couple of debut pieces too. And in addition to all that, I'll also be doing giveaways. So I have some promo packs, and I'll probably give away some exclusive stickers and stuff too.
Awesome. Well, there you go. Also, her collection has not just the NFT collection, your physical art that you're selling at these cons. It's exquisite artwork, really fine detail, beautiful, colorful, amazing artwork. So everybody should go check that out too. And also tomorrow we will have an AMA interview with Priscilla here at her booth. So if you come there at that time, you can check the schedule at the top right. But then we'll let her screen share and show some of the visuals and kind of focus it on that, the art and the collection. And then not only that, but then an hour or two after that, she's going to be the contestant against me and Rick Society on BD's game show, Devil's Advocate. So Priscilla, thanks so much for all your participation. I know you're extremely busy and exhausted after last week, but we asked you to if you wanted to do some of this, and here you are. So we really, really appreciate it. It's awesome having you.
Appreciate the invite. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So go ahead and follow her. Follow Valor and Vellum if you like what you heard today. Let's move it forward with Drawn Company, and obviously you and Ben, you're welcome to stay as long as you want, but you're not required to stay either. Drawn Company has a collection, which we had our awesome event yesterday with the conga and 2 drops that did really well. So he's really, really active in Wax, and also has been a staff member for us and has helped us put this whole NFTOPIA on. So thank you for that. But in addition to that, he is going to Comic-Cons as well. He's been to one. He's going to another one in December. And they are also promoted with Broken Dolls as well. And they're also promoting Wax stuff. So let's talk about that and how you go about things and your plans for this one in December.
So sorry, before we start, right, can Priscilla just confirm, that the only thing that we have in common is that we've been to different Comic Cons and we've never swapped notes before I do the presentation, because, right, it was great listening to her experience, because it's exactly the same experience that I've had. So, right, I'm going to do a screen share, because if you know me, you'll know that I love a presentation, right? So
right.
I'm
Just
gonna
do
go to.
just do it in here. Let's never mind the video ninja. Just use your screen share
Is it?
button.
Can you see the screen share now, guys? Can we see it? I'm
No,
sharing.
I'm not seeing it. Are others?
Inverse app. It says it. It says I'm sharing. The agency Karen. Someone says Karen Burger. Why is that not? Why is that not showing then? Tommy from Wax is here. Hi, Tommy. Can you guys see my screen? Because we can't.
I don't have it. I can give you a video ninja link though if you want to put it on the
Yeah,
Twitch.
let's. Can we do that, and then you can get it through the Twitch. Sorry,
Get it through
guys.
the Twitch.
Let
Yeah.
me just stop sharing.
Here's the link to that in the bottom left.
Okay.
All right. So you guys have to watch the Twitch. Now you can still listen to us and hear you guys in the room, but you'll watch the Twitch on that is pinned. That's muted. Obviously, it's a little bit lagged, so you just gotta keep that in mind. That's all. But it's not too bad.
Yeah. Window. Okay, here we go. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the delay.
No worries.
No audio source was detected.
No, you don't need an audio. We hear you through here.
We can hear you, man. Okay, right then. So, Wax at
Yep,
MCM
we got it.
Con Birmingham. Metaverse education, right? This is a creator's introduction to what we did and what we're going to do. Collectors, it's important that you stay with me on this as well, because you guys as collectors can help me onboard you know, your favorite creators to this initiative. So a bit of history about this. We went to Comic Con Birmingham last year, myself and Broken Dolls. We did it as a joint initiative. And just by way as a bit of introduction, Comic Con Birmingham, it's one of the biggest conventions in Europe. We have over 30,000 attendees over the 3 days of the winter convention. And they all have one thing in common. They all collect stuff. And I've been going to Comic Cons for years, and I wanted to not just take Drawn Company, but I wanted to take Wax there. And I managed to successfully do that last year. So just a bit of history, right? The first bullet there, I asked Mom because Dad would say no. So basically the way I had to approach it last year was I went to Comic Con first, and I said, I was quite honest with them. I said, I'd like to bring Wax. I'd like to do an educational piece. I don't want to just bring my own project. And they really bought into that. So we managed to do a collaboration. And then it made it easier to go back to everyone else and say, look, we've got a stand at Comic Con. We're doing a presentation. Will you guys buy into that? So there's a bit of sort of like sell it before you make it. We got a booth and we got a stage slot. You know, don't mind saying this, me and Broken Dolls, we invested heavily in it. It was a bit of a dream to exhibit our wares and other people's wares at a big Comic Con. And we had big support from Schnazzy and Nefty as well, which without their support, Comic Con last year would not have gone ahead. And we did this, guys. We created this on a shoestring budget. We had a great looking stand. It was good. It was eye catching, and we drew a lot of people in. Brands we took last year with us were Broken Dolls and Drawn Company, obviously, Aesthetic Monte, Consumer Break, Humble Drawings, and Crypto Kumas. And as you can see there, we've got our trading cards, which we made as mini flyers, which were linked back to the collections page on Nefty via a QR code. So they were really cool to give out. And it was really nice to we had them laid on a table, and we bring people into the stand and we just say, come and have a look. Which art do you like here? What sort of like floats your boat? Just take one. We're going to give you an explanatory flyer of how to use that later on. And you can actually be owning these very soon. So this is why I said I've never met Priscilla before, because we've come to the same conclusions with trying to exhibit and get, you know, promote the NFTs at an IRL convention. So the first thing is we don't talk about NFTs. They're not NFTs. These are digital collectibles. And the other thing that we found was that seeing was believing. And I've taken a photo of someone, this was a sign up I did live, and I watched the guy unpack one of my packs, and you could literally see his eyes light up when he saw the little animation that we had, and the NFTs were there in his wallet. He got it, right? And we were sort of like, great, right? We've got the key now. We can do this. And it's all about, really, we discovered it's all about just having conversations. You know, it is complicated and we can't shy away from that. So communicating the mechanics and how we do that at these conventions is really important. But again, going back to what Priscilla said, people are interested. There's no negativity there. We had one sly underhand comment with the thousands of people that came past the booth. But we did come away and we learned a lot of lessons and we needed something else. So it's time to do it again. We're going back in December, as consumers already said, and I am so excited for lots of different reasons. But this is the first reason, and it's a doohickey. This year, we're going to be supported by Wax to help us put on an effing show, right? So we're looking forward to doing that. So how are we going to do this for 2023? And as I said before, creators, if you're in the audience, if you're watching this later on, just hit us up. We're going to tell you the basics of how this is going to work. We've got until December, so we've got a fair few months. It's not set in stone yet, but this is what we're thinking of doing. Now, as I said, we need projects. That's you. Collectors, you need to start saying to people who own projects, I saw Matt do a wicked presentation and I got excited about the fact that you guys could be going to Comic-Con. So you need to connect with him ASAP, because, you know, don't let us miss out on this opportunity as a collection. Last year, we got loads of NFTs off creators. We don't want those this year. That will come later. So how are we going to do it? So we're going to do it in collaboration with Wax, and we're going to do it in collaboration with NFTOPIA, because NFTOPIA have already got the infrastructure for us to be able to pull this off. Again, this isn't set in stone yet. This is just one of the ideas. We're going to set up a specific private channel, and we're going to award people the Comic-Con Discord role should they want to take their projects, so that we've got everybody in one place and we can communicate quickly and effectively. Because the one thing that will happen, it's a long way out now, but in 6 weeks' time, we'll be halfway there. So it will become a bit more urgent. One of the decisions that we've sort of like taken already is that we're going to use Funko as the main hook. Now, I know that's going to instantly say, why are we doing that? But, you know, Priscilla said it, everybody collects Funkos. Not everybody, but the majority of people. Every other stand at a Comic-Con sells Funkos or some Funko derivative. So we need to be putting them at the center. And then having that conversation, oh, you like that? Well, you'll love this. And that's how we got people to open up wallets last year. So we're going to have more content in 2022. This is so exciting, right? One thing you need at a convention, people, is a printed bag. So we're going to have printed bags to give out to people with the thought that maybe we're not filling it. We'll put some sweets in there. Maybe we'll put some flyers. We'll put some VIRL gifts. But it's having that walking advert, walking around the convention, which is exciting. So it'll be big enough to put something in. We're going to go for sustainable bags as well. So we're going to have a free physical VIRL gift to pop in the bag. We don't know what that is yet. We're still in the ideas stage. We're going to be doing the trading cards again. We're going to be doing stickers. We've got the standees from last year, and you know we'll make some banners. The most important difference between the stand that you're looking at there and the stand that we're going to have this year is it's going to be heavily led around AV equipment. There was a stand opposite us that was a game, and all they had was a 60-inch screen, but it made it pop, and people were just, you know, drawn over. And seeing as most of our stuff is digital, well, you know, 99.9% is digital. We're missing out on a trick if we don't do that. We're also going to be back on the live stage doing a presentation, which I will share with everyone now. I considered it a bit of almost like IP, because I believe what we presented on stage, even though I was ill, and I'll give myself a 6 out of 10 for the presentation. I think the sort of like the method of delivery is revolutionary. But yeah, we'll share that later on. I like blowing my own trumpet. So principles, right? Yeah. Imagine we're going to make an onboarding kit for people coming into Wax. So it's going to be like a Hogwarts letter. Now, that sounds completely, oh, what Hogwarts letter? Why do we need a Hogwarts letter? We want something that they can open, that they can take away, that's a bit personal. Make it like a personal invitation. We're going to have lanyards with individuals that we're going to be able to slot QR codes in for sort of like individual collections. We're going to do waxtridges. That might be waxtridges, if you don't know, is a popular Broken Dolls NFT. Unfortunately, you couldn't be here tonight. But yeah, we're going to have hopefully some physical waxtridges. And then you've got the Drawn Company Constructoids, which went down really well last year because they serve as flyers and they're cut out and keep toys, which you can go and make at home. The base print suite is just an introduction to Wax, but sort of like taking away all the jargon. And as a minimum, as I said there, each project that comes on board with us is going to get a trading card. It will scale up as we start to look at what type of print we can do, what type of stuff is within our means. But yeah, as a base, we get a project on board, you're at least going to have a trading card, and then you'll not only have them given out there, we'll be able to sort it out so that you can maybe have some popped in the post so that you can have them. So the one thing that we need this time, and again, Priscilla, this is why I was saying, like, we've come to the same conclusions, is that look at how many people are there. We can't afford to, we haven't got the time to explain the blockchain and how it works to everybody. They need to be able to go away. So the one thing that I've said to Wax, and the one thing that I've sort of like, this is an idea that I've had quite close to me for a long time, is that I want to create like a legacy website resource. So with the community, with you guys, with everybody, even the collectors, I'd love to get your thoughts on this. We're going to develop content, and we'll do that from the lessons we learned at Comic-Con, but we can do that through people's real life experience. What's your experience of coming on to the Wax blockchain? We'll have a call to action on the print, so everybody's going to be directed to this web resource. It's going to have a simple, clean structure, a few videos, and it's just how to do the basics and introductions to individual projects as well. And that's the important thing here, which again, Priscilla picked up on is the use of language. So I'm just looking at the time. So last but not least, on my word, right, if you are in Europe, we are going to be having the unofficial Wax Meetup 2023 at UK Birmingham Comic Con on Saturday, the 2nd of December. So we'd like as many people, if you're in the UK, to come, but you're more than welcome to pop along. It's not, it's not expensive to fly to Birmingham. It's not one of the more expensive airports. So, it would be great to use that opportunity of having the booth and this sort of like activity going on, paired with everybody coming together. So let's see where we go with that. So what I need you to go away with now is just go away and start thinking about what you can do to help, right? And let us know. And also, if you're not in the NFTOPIA Discord, shame on you, right? Get yourself in the NFTOPIA Discord, because we're going to be announcing that, all the stuff in there. Obviously, we'll put it out on socials. We'll throw the net out wide, but we want everybody in one place because this will have to happen quickly, right? So we'll need sort of like whether people are on board, who wants in, who wants out, what sort of level of sort of like help you can provide. So questions, please. And that's the end of my screen share. So you can stop sharing there. Beautiful.
Can you share with, or just briefly, you don't have to go into it, but how you started your stage talk at last Comic-Con, like your intro? Because I thought it's hilarious. Where you said like, you've heard NFTs are bad, and you've heard that that they destroy the environment, and it's nothing but scams, and I'm here to tell you that you are absolutely correct. And that's the end. Thank you for coming. And then he's like, no, let me tell you. And then he went through those steps that he just said, all the negatives that people think about blockchain. and debunked each one with Wax, and that was their stage talk. And I thought that was brilliant. Broken Doll said you did great as well.
Yeah. And the thing is, as I say, I give myself a 6 out of 10. I was really ill that day. Close to death in man flu terms. But yeah, I mean, what I'll do is I'll put a link to it in the Discord. So we'll create that channel after NFTOPIA, and then everybody can have a look and give us some opinions on it, because that's the only way we're going to make what we're doing better. Does anyone have any questions? Oh, seeing as Ben's here as well, I was going to remind myself, like, it's not just creators that we're taking. Obviously, we're going to be taking all the individual marketplaces as well. So whilst you've got more of a central role, you'll have that same sort of option to participate should you want. And I know you've spoken to Broken Dolls about that anyway, but that will go for Atomic, Nefty, Wax DAO, that sort of thing. Because we want to shout about the Wax blockchain, and we want to start onboarding people. Because people, I'm telling you, right, and I do say this all the time, and people are just like, oh my God, shut up, Matt. Sermon on the Mount type thing, right? Once we light the touch paper, if we can do that, that'll be it. And it will just cascade. If we can start onboarding people at a Comic-Con, prove that it works en masse, we can do it at other Comic-Cons. We can do it worldwide and get the message out there. Yeah, there you go.
Fantastic.
Lecture over.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, go ahead.
We've actually been on blockchains and Web3 Berlin in recent time, and we have printed maybe hundreds of NFTs for giveaways, and we still have lots of leftovers. I don't know if we can maybe get them to you somehow. And we have stickers from a lot of Wax games.
Okay, that's on topic too. How did the Berlin event go? Was it a nice thing too, or what was it about?
That was rather small. Blockchains in Hamburg was a lot bigger, much better event, I would say. But yeah, I guess that's it for this year for us. So we still have so many leftovers. So
cool.
Better get them out while they're hot.
Yeah, Valor and Realm just said, could get NFTs from other creators to give away at the cons, not just your own. By all means, Wax creators love, we all know this, we love giving out our stuff, especially to influencers they will give it out. That's great. A lot of us have that's why our swag has like 1,200 NFTs in it, y'all. So
I think, sorry, on that though, last year we got hundreds of NFTs, right? And actually, what I think we need to focus on this year, right, is getting people to create sort of like very small amounts of stuff that's potentially going to be valuable. So if I was doing it as Drawn Company this year, I'd be throwing maybe 5 into the pool so that we can create an individual QR code, and then they've really got value, and you can start to talk to people and say, this isn't just a freebie, this is actually worth $5 if you go and sign up. And whether you sort of like choose to sell that or not, that's up to you. But yeah, there's loads of options, and I really hope that people jump in. And I'd like to discuss with Priscilla as well. I'd like to have a meeting with you if you could give me sort of like 15 minutes of your time to really pick into your experience, because I found that fascinating.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
I'm always down to bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah,
man. Cool.
That'd be great.
Cool.
Yeah. Especially, there's not too many Wax creators that are out in Comic Cons trying to push NFTs. So that's great.
We found both of us.
So both of you should definitely share knowledge, and along with anybody else that does too. This was a great past hour. Thank you to our speakers, Priscilla, Matt, and Ben. Thank you for going through, talking about Comic Cons and the PFP tool.